Hi everyone and welcome to the Imran's Data Lab. Today I am excited to walk you through a complete hands-on project where I fine-tune the powerful Llama 3.2 billion instruct model using Unsloth and a specialized medical chain of thought dataset. This project demonstrates how you can apply parameter efficient fine-tuning to adopt large language model for domain specific tasks. In our case, medical reasoning. Throughout this video, I will explain each line of code in detail, why specific parameter and tool were chosen, and how you can reproduce this workflow using open source libraries on platforms like Colab and Kaggle. I'll also share insights I gather from training logs, practical consideration, and the performance of the model after fine-tuning. So whether you are a student, a machine learning enthusiast, or someone working on domain specific AI solution, this video is for you. Let's dive right into the notebook. On the screen you can see our project objective. This project is actually a parameter efficient supervised fine-tuning of Llama 3.23 billion on a medical chain of thought dataset. Okay, now let's move on to the notebook. Let's start by setting up the environment for fine-tuning our Llama 3.2 billion model. This setup ensures compatibility and stability before training begins. The first two lines of code manually disable flash attention and Triton kernels. By disabling them, we ensure smooth execution of Unsloth on standard GPUs like the Tesla P100, which we will confirm shortly. And here we install Unsloth using pip. Unsloth is a high performance wrapper around Hugging Face transformers optimized for fast and memory efficient fine tuning of Llama model. The capture magic command press installation log to keep the notebook clean. In the next, we install specific version of the critical libraries like transformers, TRL, bits and bytes, and accelerate. Version 4.51.3 of transformer is fully compatible with the Llama 3 architecture and recent Unsloth improvement. Confirm GPU access. Before training, it's essential to verify that a compatible GPU is available. Here we see that we are running on a GPU P100 with 16 GB of VRAM, ideal for 4-bit quantized fine-tuning. This confirms that Kaggle has allocated a GPU instance for us. Now we import the core libraries needed for our training loop. Fast language model from Unsloth help load and fine-tune Llama model more efficiently. PyTorch is the backend that powers all training. SFT Trainer from TRL is designed specifically for supervised fine-tuning with techniques like PEF. Finally, is bfloat 16 supported checks whether our hardware can use bfloat 16 precision, which can further speed up training on newer GPUs. And then Hugging Face and dataset tools. These lines bring in tools from Hugging Face. The login method allows us to authenticate and access private model or dataset. Training argument lets us configure training hyperparameters like learning rate, batch size, and save strategy. And load dataset is used to pull dataset either from Hugging Face or locally for fine-tuning. And secrets. Finally, we import weights and biases, which is short for weights and biases. A great tool to visualize train metrics in real time. The user secret client from Kaggle lets us securely retrieve API key or secret, such as a Hugging Face token, without hard coding them into the notebook. As you can see in the output log, Unsloth automatically detects your environment and applies low-level optimization for faster training. It also provides fallback warning, which are safe to ignore as long as training continues normally. Okay, move to the next. We begin by importing pandas for data frame manipulation and dataset from Hugging Face datasets library to convert our data into the format required by the trainer. Then load the medical dataset. We load the dataset using load dataset specifying both the dataset name and the English configuration tag. And then we convert the training split of the dataset into pandas data frame so we can manipulate the columns easily. After that, I printed out the column to verify what we are working with. The dataset has 3 columns: question, complex chain of thought, and response, which represent the input case, reasoning process, and the final answer respectively. Okay, format into prompt style text for fine-tuning. Here we define a formatting function that takes each row and combines the question, chain of thought, reasoning, and the final answer into a single prompt style string. This formatting mimics how instruction models are trained to respond to human queries with context and the clarity. Train and validation split. I randomly sample 100 examples for the validation set and use the remaining example for training. This helps us evaluate model performance after each epoch. Convert data frame to Hugging Face dataset. Both the training and validation sets are converted back into the dataset format required by Hugging Face training API like SFT train. And finally, I print the first training sample. You can see it's neatly formatted into a structured prompt with 3 sections: question, reasoning, and the answer. This structure format will help the model learn how to generate medically sound answers step by step. Okay, now load the model in 4-bit with LoRa. We import the required libraries. User secret client from Kaggle Secret is used to securely access tokens that we have stored in Kaggle Secrets. This is important for keeping our Hugging Face and weights and biases token private and out of the code. Then we import first language model from Onslaught, which is highly optimized wrapper for training Llama model efficiently. And finally, we import auto tokenizer from Hugging Face transformers, which will help us tokenize and de-tokenize our data. We create an instance of user secret client and then securely retrieve 2 secrets: the Hugging Face token to download the model and the weights and biases token for experiment tracking. These are stored as environment variable in the Kaggle, so they never appear in the code, which is a great practice for security. We log into weights and biases using the retrieve token. This allows us to automatically track and visualize training metrics like loss, accuracy, learning rate curve, and more. We load base model and tokenizer using Onslaught from pre-trained method. Let's break this down. Model name. Model name points to the Onslaught optimized version of Llama 3.1 3 billion instruct, which supports PEF. Maximum sequence length is set to 2048 token to match the maximum context window of Llama 3 billion. Data type is set to none, which let Onslaught automatically choose the best type like float 16 or bfloat 16 depending on our hardware. Code in 4-bit equals to true. Enable 4-bit quantization using bits and bytes, reducing GPU memory usage while retraining model quality. Token equal to Hugging Face token. Authenticate the Hugging Face model download. Here the model for training using for training. Here we enable use gradient checkpointing with trade compute for memory. This allows us to train larger model with limited GPU resources by recomputing intermediate activation instead of storing them in the memory. LoRa PEF to the model. Now we apply parameter efficient fine-tuning using LoRa. Let me explain the parameter. R equals to 16. Define the rank of the LoRa adapter matrix. A low rank means fewer trainable parameters. LoRa alpha equals to 32 is a scaling factor that adjusts the weight updates. LoRa dropout is equal to 0.0. It means we aren't using dropout in this setup. You can tweak it for regularization. Bias equal to none tells the model not to fine-tune the bias terms, which keeps training more lightweighted. Tokenize the dataset. Now that we have prepared the raw dataset, the next step is to tokenize the inputs. We define a tokenize function where we use our preloaded tokenizer to process each text entry. We apply truncation and padding so that all sequences are uniform in length. specifically with a maximum length of 24/8 tokens which align with the Llama 3 model context window. Then we create the labels field by copying the input IDs, a requirement for supervised fine-tuning where we train the model to predict the next token from the input. Finally, we map this tokenizer function to both the training and validation dataset using the .map method provided by the Hugging Face dataset library. Next, we configure the training behavior by defining our training arguments. We specify the output directory to store model checkpoints and set the per device batch size to 2. To simulate larger batch size, we accumulate gradients over 2 steps. Is limited to 60 steps for a quick test run. Happens every step to monitor progress, and checkpoints are saved every 10 steps. Optimization, we are using the LMW optimizer and a cosine learning rate scheduler for smooth convergence. Steps are set to 5, allowing the model to stabilize at the start. Finally, we use mixed precision FP16 training for faster performance on Kaggle and enable weights and biases integration with report to equals to weights and bias. Then inspect dataset structure. Before extracting fields, it's good practice to inspect the structure of the validation dataset, so we print out the column name and preview a sample text entry. As we can see, the text follows a specific format containing 3 sections: question, reasoning and the answer. Each section is clearly marked with markdown style header, which make it easier to parse later using regular expressions. This structure is crucial because we'll split it into separate fields, allowing us to guide the model through a more structured chain of thought reasoning process. Extract question, reasoning and the answer field. To properly fine-tune the model using chain of thought reasoning, we need to separate each entry into 3 distinct fields: question, reasoning and the answer. We define a function extract field that uses regular expressions to extract the relevant parts from each text block. We use the search method with multi-line matching enabled using the redoutable flag. The result is a new dictionary with the parse field. We apply this function across all validation texts, convert the result into a data frame, and then concatenate it back with the original validation data frame. This pre-processing step ensures that we can feed structured prompt into the model for consistent input formatting and evaluation. We define a formatting function to reconstruct the prompt used during both training and evaluation. This function takes a parse example and formats it back into the same structured layout: question, reasoning and the answer, separated with header and new lines. Maintaining this structure helps the model recognize patterns during supervised training and later we generating completions. We will later pass this function into the SFT trainer, allowing it to automatically format example during training. Now, let's move on setting up the SFT trainer, which is part of the TRL library and stands for Supervised Fine-Tuning Trainer. We pass in the preloaded model and our tokenized train dataset along with the training argument that we configured earlier. We are also passing the tokenizer and the formatting function, which ensure the input is structured with the question, reasoning and the answer format that the model expects. Setting packing equals to true enable efficient memory usage by dynamically packing multiple sequences into a single batch. Setup allow us to easily fine-tune the model using our medical chain of thought data. Before we start the actual training, let's calculate the baseline performance metric using the Rogel score. We start by installing and importing the evaluate library and then load the ROS metric. Next, we define a function called generate response baseline, which takes a validation example formats. It using our custom formatting function, tokenizes it and generate action using the base model before fine-tuning. We then apply this function to the entire validation dataset and store the prediction in a new column called baseline PRID. Finally, we compute the Roselle score by comparing these predictions to the ground truth responses. In our case, the Roselle score before training is around 0.305, which will serve as a baseline to compare against the post-training score. We begin the actual fine-tuning process by calling trainer.train. This will train the model for the number of steps or epochs we specified in the training arc. In our case, this includes 60 steps, a batch size of 2 with gradient accumulation. A cosine learning rate schedule may take several minutes depending on your hardware, but this is where the model starts learning from our dataset reasoning patterns and the answer. For the training, we get a summary output. Here the total number of training steps was 60 and the final training loss is approximately 5.23, which indicates how well the model minimized error during fine-tuning. We also see runtime metrics such as training time, steps per second, and total floating point operations. These details are useful for debugging performance and estimating training costs in a production setting. When training is complete, we run the Roselle score evaluation again to see how much the model has improved. We define a new function called generate response fine-tune, which follows the same process as before: formatting the prompt, tokenizing it, generating a response, and decoding it, except this time using our fine-tuned model. We apply this to our validation set and store the result in a new column named fine-tuned PRID. Finally, we compute Roselle score to evaluate the quality of the model's response after training. In this case, the Roselle score is approximately 0.305, which is slightly lower than the baseline. This suggests that while the model has been fine-tuned, the performance gain is minimal, possibly due to limited training steps or dataset size. This insight guides future iterations. Once we have fine-tuned model, it's important to save it for the future use. That's why we define a path called Llama 3 medical fine-tune and save both the model and tokenizer using the save pre-trained method. And this will create a directory containing all necessary files to reload the model later, including the tokenizer configuration and vocabulary files. Saving locally ensures that we can reuse or share the model without needing to retrain it. Before we can push our model to the Hugging Face Hub, we need to authenticate our account. We do this by importing notebook login from the Hugging Face Hub library and calling it. This will prompt us to enter our Hugging Face access token, which you can find in your account setting under the Access Tokens tab. Once logged in, this session will be authorized to upload model, tokenizer, and other assets to your Hugging Face profile. This is one-time step for each notebook session and is essential for secure model publishing. As a final step, we publish our model to the Hugging Face Hub using the push to hub method. This makes the model publicly accessible and the URL shown in the output, which is as the following. Model in this way supports reproducibility, collaboration, and allows other developers and researchers to fine-tune it further or integrate it into their own applications. It also serves as a professional portfolio piece demonstrating hands-on experience with the fine-tuning and deployment. And take care. Allah Hafiz.